Hi, my loves. I just wanted to come onto YouTube today and talk about my dental journey, since I've been getting a lot of questions about how I'm doing, and others wondering about my journey because they're trying to make the same decision that I made. So if you want to hear more about it, stay tuned. So before I get into things, I want to give a big shout out to family, friends, and my work colleagues. Without all of your love and support, I wouldn't have been able to get to where I am today. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means so much. And to my therapist for her encouraging words and for being by my side mentally. It has been a crazy journey. And I also want to give the biggest shout out of all to my mom for physically being there every step of the way during and after the procedure. She's amazing and absolutely the best. And I just love her so much. So I just wanted to come on and say thank you to everybody for being there for me. It truly has meant so much. And without all of your love, I would not have been able to get through this journey without you. So I just wanted to say thank you. So my journey began in my mid-20s when I found out that my wisdom teeth were coming in crooked. They were getting ready to come through my gums. So I figured it was time to get it checked, and I finally had dental insurance at the time. And so I figured it was time to get everything checked to probably get them out, because I knew if they were out of the gums, then they wouldn't be covered. So I went to a dentist down in Burlington. I don't remember his name. I only saw him once. They did x-rays, found out that my wisdom teeth were coming in crooked. And he also noticed on my x-rays that because my wisdom teeth were coming in crooked, that it was putting so much pressure on all of my teeth, upper and lower, that it was causing fractures in my teeth, my adult teeth. So not only did I have to have 3 wisdom teeth removed, I also had to have my 2 upper molars, back molars removed, because they were just so bad that they couldn't even get my wisdom teeth out without them breaking. So I had 2 adult molars and 3 wisdom teeth pulled, 5 teeth at once. I was put under for that. The thing that kind of frustrated me about this the most was, growing up, in middle school and high school, I used to have really, really bad migraines, at least, 2 or 3 a month. I'd have to take a ton of Advil. I'd have to be in a dark room with the lights off, washcloth on my forehead, washcloth on my neck. Really, really bad migraines. And I also, undiagnostically, I feel like I had TMJ, but it was never diagnosed. But I used to be able to pop my jaw in and out. Used to hate my mom used to hate it. But I'm just like really irritated that my past dentist never noticed that I had my wisdom teeth were coming in like that, because that was the reason for the migraines. That was the reason for the TMJ in my jaw. And honestly, when I had my wisdom teeth pulled, all that went away. I have not had a migraine since. I get headaches here and then, but I have not had a full-blown migraine since I had my wisdom teeth pulled. I cannot pop my jaw in and out anymore. My jaw actually feels a lot better. And I just, honestly, I'm really like disappointed in my dentist growing up, because like that's something that he should have caught, ahead of time. And I should have had my wisdom teeth pulled years and years and years prior, before all of the damage. And then not only that, but like my genetics dental wise is not really the greatest. So my mom's side of the family has really soft teeth. a lot of them already have like a lot of my aunts and uncles have dentures. Um, my cousins don't have the greatest teeth. My brother doesn't, sorry, bud. um, we all got it. But yeah, so my genetics isn't the greatest when it comes to dental health either. So I had that against me. I just, so I had my wisdom teeth pulled out and the two back molars, and because they were pulled, it released the pressure that were put on all of my adult teeth. And so once the pressure was released, the teeth were finally able to breathe, um, and, space back out a little bit. And when that happened, all of the fractured pieces fell out. Um, and I mean, it just kept happening. And, between, switching jobs and not having dental insurance at times, I wasn't able to get it all fixed. And then, I mean, once you start getting like decay in your teeth, it's really hard. Like, you can't get it back. Like, it won't come back. And so, I had um, extractions in the past to have teeth removed. There was even one time I had gone to bed. My tooth was bothering me. It was a Saturday night. My tooth was bothering me, and my mom was like, "Oh, use a heating pad. It'll help make you feel better." Yeah, I had an infection in there, and as a lot of people know, infections and heat don't really mix. And I woke up the next morning and I was so mad too because my mom made me sausage gravy and biscuits for breakfast. I was so mad though, but I woke up and my cheek was like out to here. I could not open my eye. It was so bad. My mom ended up having to take me to the hospital. I had a cyst, like an abscess, on my gum, and they had to drain it. And then I had, I believe it was a CAT scan. I'm not sure. They had to, they did a CAT scan just to figure out where the infection was. And they ended up draining it, gave me some antibiotics. And then I had to get like a state voucher at the time because I didn't have health insurance or dental. And so I got a state voucher, which was a pain in the ass, to get 2 teeth extracted. So I already had 2 teeth missing here on this side. And just one thing after another. They just kept breaking, and I couldn't keep up with it. But a lot of times, like, I tried to just ignore it because I have a huge fear of the dentist. I've always had a huge fear of the dentist, even growing up when I was little. I hate the dentist. I'm petrified of needles. I'm petrified of like scalpels. I'm petrified of, the little pointed pokey thing that they put in there. I'm even afraid of the stupid little mirror thing that he puts in there. Oh, and that suction thing. I can't stand that thing either. So I had a really bad fear of dentists growing up. And I just kept putting things off because I knew it was just getting worse and worse, and it was getting to the point to where, like, it was going to have to be some sort of drastic change when I did actually get everything fixed. And I had met a guy, lived down in Connecticut, really, really sweet. His name was Daniel. Daniel actually, he didn't have a problem with my teeth. He just, it was definitely like us, it was definitely an issue. And I think it was the first time that my therapist is going to kill me for saying this, but my biggest flaw was put on display. Because nobody's ever really been like that vocal about it. And so my biggest flaw was put on display at that time. So I was feeling like super embarrassed about it. And so Daniel actually convinced me to have a consultation done to see what it was going to cost to fix everything. Or at least see what needed to be done. At the time, my dad had suggested to see what it was going to cost to fix everything. because he didn't want me to get dentures. And funny enough, I found out some information yesterday that actually makes a lot of sense, as to why he pushed me to fix everything and not get dentures. Um, but he really, really pushed me to get everything fixed. And being that, like, I have a fear of dentists, it was a really hard consultation for me to go to, just because, like, obviously, like, my biggest flaw was being put on display. And my biggest fear is, the one that's in there. Um, so I went to a consultation, at a dentist office that will not be named during this video because of certain reasons. They did an exam, they did x-rays, did an exam. Mind you, x-rays, I fucking hate x-rays. Excuse my language. But I freaking hate x-rays. It freaking hurts. They, stab these hard plastic pieces in your mouth to get like these certain spots, and like, this just excruciating. So they did x-rays, and then the doctor came in, and he, like, went through all of my teeth to figure out like what needed to be done. By the end of the visit, it was, 4 extractions needed to be done, 13 fillings, and I was going to end up with partial dentures on the upper and the lower. And the total amount at the time was like $5,700. That was with my insurance from the hospital, which is great dental insurance, mind you. So it was actually like, I want to say it was like $8,700 total if I didn't have insurance. But because I did have insurance, I had a $1,500 deductible, which meant, that they pay $1,500 and then I pay the rest. But because I had Delta Dental, the dentist office that I went through had like another, I guess I got another like $1,500 on top of that. So they paid another $1,500. So $3,000 was going to be paid. And then it still came to $5,700. So knowing that crazy amount of money, and knowing how much work needed to be done, I'm traumatized from my childhood having to get fillings, and fillings are the worst. I honestly, I hate needles, so I hate the Novocaine. I love what the Novocaine does, but I hate getting the Novocaine. It's just that initial shot of Novocaine that just does it for me. And, so honestly, I was pretty traumatized by the whole experience. And I just felt defeated, because obviously I knew I had bad teeth, but like, it was just a lot. And not only that, but like, it was the first time that like somebody had actually had a problem with my teeth. And then putting my biggest flaw on display and having a huge fear of dentist office or dentists in general. And this astronomical amount of money that I was going to have to pay to get all this done. It was just a really traumatic experience for me. And, so I just kind of shut down and, crawled back into my hermit cage and, just put it in the back of my mind and just didn't worry about it. And then, things with Daniel obviously fizzled out. We're still friends to this day, but like, they just fizzled out, relationship wise. And then this last year, like a year ago, hold on. Sorry about that. I had to blow my nose. Actually, I can't say that because I should say I had to wipe my nose. I cannot blow my nose, and you'll find out why in a little bit. So a year ago, I started therapy, for some panic attacks that I had. I had a lot going on last fall, between 2 work baby showers, a personal baby shower. I had a lot going on with my grandma. My grandma ended up passing away last December. And, I had a lot of like crash shows I was doing with my aunt, and the baby showers, I just kind of like bit off more than I could chew. And I obviously wouldn't trade it for the world because I absolutely adore the two girls that I did baby showers for. Um, and the babies, obviously, the babies have been born now, obviously. My little boys, they're so cute. And so I ended up seeing a therapist. Um, and I absolutely, like I said, in the intro and the beginning, I absolutely adore her. She has been a lifesaver. Um, but one of the things that we discussed was my dental issues. Um, and I told her about the past, with my wisdom teeth and extractions and not having dental insurance, and we talked about my fear of going to the dentist, and things that had happened in the past that like they what caused me to have like this fear. And then I obviously talked to her about my fear of showing my teeth. And the really sad thing is obviously like people put a lot of pressure to have like perfect dental. And these days, like growing up, like a lot of people, my age or younger, have like these amazing, beautiful teeth. And I know like a lot of it is like veneers and like that kind of stuff. But like there's a lot of pressure to have like really nice teeth. And so, not having that and having like a lot of you probably know I had a tooth missing on the front, and like one or two teeth missing in the front. I had one over here that was missing that you could see. And like not having that pretty smile, like it's just not a good feeling. Pride wise, it's not good. And like it was getting to the point to where like, I'd have conversations with people where we'd be laughing and like I'd just stop laughing. Like I'd shut down because I was showing my teeth, and I just shut down and like stop smiling, stop laughing. And that's really hard because, I love joking around, and I love laughing, and, not being confident with my smile to the point to where I couldn't be that person. It's just really sad and it's really hard. And so, one thing that her and I discussed was, getting me to the point to where I can, get this dental work done. And so, when her and I talked about it, it was, we had talked about the first consultation about, getting things fixed, and, not going the route of dentures, like full dentures. I just kind of felt like the route of getting everything fixed was more of what other people wanted in my life. For me, they didn't want me to get dentures, but for me, because I had been through so much with my teeth, and I mean like at least once or twice a month I had either really bad toothaches or infections that were getting out of control or whatever. And that's a lot. Like, I mean, you think about it, I think I had my wisdom teeth pulled when I was like 25. I'm now 38. That's a long time to be having, once or twice a month having dental issues. And toothaches are excruciating. So, a lot of people in my life at the time wanted me to get everything fixed. And I just wanted to go the route of dentures because, I just wanted that peace of mind. I wanted to know that like I wasn't going to have to go through dental pain in the future. Like if I'm going to pay this astronomical amount of money, I want to be sure that I'm not going to have problems going down the road. And so my whole thing was I just wanted to get straight up dentures. And so I, with the help and the encouragement of my therapist, went and had a second consultation done at the same dentist office, with the same dental the same doctor, and they did another X-ray. This one was a different one, just because, and I didn't pay for that, just because my insurance, I had already had an X-ray done, and apparently I can't have X-rays done more than like 3 years, which is weird, but I don't know about that. But they ended up doing my X-rays for me, and so he did another consultation this time to see how much it would be for dentures. And it would, so to have the dentures put in, it was a full denture on the top and a partial on the lower. So I actually have, I don't have dentures on the bottom right now because they're not fitting. But I have 7 of my original teeth in there still, my adult teeth. So it was a full upper. They pulled all of my upper teeth here, and then a partial on the bottom. And I actually have one of the teeth that they were able to salvage. It actually does need a filling, so I still have that to happen. But they pulled, I think it was a total of 17 teeth pulled. Anyways, so I had this consultation done. Found out it was going to be about 8,000, a little over 8,000, to get it done. So I got the money, thanks to some family members. I got the money, and my consultation was at the beginning of the pandemic. And so obviously with like everything that happened, I had my, at the beginning of the pandemic, I had my not my consultation, but my appointment for my impressions. I had it scheduled. And then it got bumped due to the pandemic, but it was rescheduled. And then, obviously the pandemic got a lot worse than we thought it was going to. And so I had the appointment that it was rescheduled to. They had never actually even called me to let me know that it was canceled. They just, I don't know. I honestly don't know. My appointment just went off into the void. And so they never called me, never said anything, never checked on me, never nothing. I never heard from them at all. And, so I think it was around August, the beginning of August, I finally called them because I hadn't heard anything, and I knew that like people were going in having appointments. And I hadn't heard anything. So I gave them a call, and they were like, "Oh, yep, we see, we see that you had this consultation this time. Let's get you scheduled for your impressions, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, okay, so you guys never called me. Like, you've been seeing patients this whole time. I could have been seen sooner. But it is what it is. And, that right there should have been like my first red flag. So I made my appointment for my impressions, went in to have my impressions done, which was, I have really bad gag reflexes. So the minute she put that stuff into my mouth, like the top plate to get the impressions, and the stuff started seeping out the back and down into my throat, I literally started, like, I almost threw up. Like, I started gagging so bad, and I almost threw up. And she's like, breathe through your nose, breathe through your nose. It was so bad. That was traumatic. It's kind of funny now that I think about it, but like, it was, yeah. Anyways, so I ended up, I had my impressions done, and then I scheduled my appointment for my extraction, and, some things happened at work. A coworker of mine, ended up losing her mother-in-law, and so I had to push out my appointment, for my procedure, which, obviously not her fault. I definitely, don't blame her in the slightest. But I ended up, having to push out the dental appointment, the procedure, and then finally, was able to schedule it for September 9th, which was last week. And, so, I've had between the consultation, which was like back in February of last year, of the, not last year, but this year. Um, so from then until September 9th, I mean, that's quite a few months. So, um, I had um, my impressions taken, and, um, they ended up, I didn't hear anything from anybody, but I was talking to my therapist. I think it was the day before my extraction, actually. I was talking to my therapist and I was telling her about how, like, nervous I was getting. And, in the past, when I had my wisdom teeth pulled and stuff like that, I've had to have Valium, because I literally hyperventilate before I go to appointments for the dentist. Um, and so I called them and I was like, hey, is there any way that I could get a Valium, so that I can calm myself down before the appointment? And so they were like, yeah, you need to come in and fill out a consent first. So I was like, okay. So I went in, signed a bunch of paperwork, before the appointment and everything, and signed the consent, and went and picked up the Valium. I took it the night before, and then when I woke up, they actually, so I had ended up, when I was on my way to the dentist to go sign the consents, I had gotten a call from a number I didn't know from New York, and I don't answer numbers that I don't know on my phone, obviously, because I get a lot of those kind of calls. And so I didn't answer it, and then I got to the dentist office, and um, I listened to the voicemail that was left on my voicemail, and it was somebody from Aspen Dental, and they were like, hey, we had a cancellation at 9 a.m., so we're going to bump you up to the 9 a.m. slot instead of the 3:15, which is what I was scheduled for. So I was like, okay. But I got into the dentist office, and of course they confirmed that and everything. So my appointment went from, it's now like almost 5:30 on the night before, and I'm thinking my appointment's at 3:15 the next day, and now all of a sudden my appointment's at 9 a.m. the following day. So my, the amount of time that I had between, then and the actual extraction, the appointment had, like, obviously drastically shortened. So it all started to get really real. And so I signed the consent. I got the Valium. I woke up the next morning for my appointment, took my Valium. My mom and I drove to dentist office. They have a traveling oral surgeon that comes in to do the surgeries. And so I go in. You have to, obviously for COVID, you have to go in. They do your temperature, ask you the questions or whatever, and then you go back out to your car, and they call you when the room is ready for you to go in. And so I went back out to the car, and I was sitting with my mom, and then the billing woman came out, actually, and she kind of sat down on the side of the car, and was talking with me, and she told me that the oral surgeon had looked at my my x-rays and had noticed that two teeth, my upper molars in the back, were actually had perforated through my sinuses. And so he had to fix those while he was in there, because if he didn't fix them, it was basically just going to leave a hole in my sinus, and anytime that I drank water, it was going to go up into my sinus and come right up my nose, which I don't want that, obviously. So she told me about that. It was going to be like an extra $630 something or something like that. And I don't remember if at the time, if she said it was just for one or she said it was just for two. I don't remember. My mom said she said it was just for one, which I hope that's not the case, because that's quite a bit of money to add on to the already $8,000 that I already paid. I honestly don't remember if it was for one or two, but they had to do it. And so I went into my appointment. I had the anesthesia because I don't want to be awake for any of that, because no. So they had the anesthesia. I fell asleep. And then I woke up. I could feel them, playing, cleaning things off and everything. And then, I come out of anesthesia pretty well. I'm not loopy or anything like that. I'm a little bit groggy, but I'm not like, I'm not like those wisdom teeth videos where kids are acting stupid. Um, but anyways, so then, I left and the woman gave my mom instructions. So because of the sinus perforations, I am not for a whole month from September 9th to October 9th. I am not allowed to sneeze or blow my nose. I definitely cannot blow my nose. If I have to sneeze, I have to leave my mouth open, which right now during a pandemic, nobody wants me doing that. So I am trying my best not to sneeze. If I do, I have to leave my mouth open, because if I don't, it actually will cause pressure, and it will adjust things that he did in there to seal it up. So I'm not allowed to sneeze, and I'm not allowed to blow my nose. So I literally carry tissues around, because obviously with my allergies and everything, my allergies have been horrible. My nose has been like super runny. And of course, like, because I can't blow my nose, like, my allergy, my nose just has to act up now. So, yeah. So the nurse gave my mom all the instructions. We left. We went to Kindy's in Heinsberg to go pick up my meds. They weren't ready. But my brother's girlfriend, Katie, and her son, Jack, and Dixie came out to see me, because they live right next to the Kindy Drugs in Heinsberg. Which was, made me feel a little bit better. And then I came home. Mind you, so one of the things that I was told in my consultation was that, during the actual procedure, they would put my dentures in. So I was told that my dentures would be in my mouth when I got out of my appointment. My dentures were not in my mouth. My dentures were still in a pack, sitting on my lap. They gave them to me and sent me home with them. They did not put them in. They were supposed to have put them in because dentures actually act as a bandage, and they keep the swelling down. But because they didn't put them in, my dentures or my gums swelled. And so the next day, when the nurse had given my mom the instructions and everything, she said, all right, you need to call and make an appointment for tomorrow, because the dentist will help you put your dentures in. And I was like, okay. So we got home, we did the medicine and everything. We got home, my mom called and made the appointment. And so the next day, I went in and he was like, wait, they didn't put your dentures in? And I'm like, no, they told me to make an appointment and that you would put them in. And he was like, well, I can't put your dentures in because they were supposed to put them in, during your procedure to stop all the swelling. And now your gums are completely swollen and I can't put them in. So yeah, appointment completely wasteful. But the other thing that I did talk to him about, I did have some questions about, was, I didn't get, like, I have dentures now. Like, I need, like, a thing to put them in, like a holder to put them in. I needed, like, a toothbrush to clean them with. Now I need to get, like, denture cleaner, denture adhesive, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, was I supposed to get anything like that from you guys? And he's like, they didn't give you that? I'm like, nope. They didn't give me nothing. And so he, the dental assistant that was with him went out and got a kit. And it had like a couple of Fixodent in there, or not Fixodent, Polydent cleaner. And then it had a tube of Fixodent in there for denture adhesive. But it also had like the little tub that you put them in that has like a cover on it and you can clean them in it. And it also had a toothbrush thing. So that was like super helpful. I'm glad that I spoke up about that. But that appointment was like really a waste. Because all that stuff I could have just gotten on Amazon. But it is what it is. So I wasn't able to put my dentures in. And then he was like, wait a few days. Mind you, I was on Percocet and Advil rotation for pain. And then I was also on amoxicillin for infection. And I was also on this steroid for swelling, which tasted horrible, by the way. Luckily, my mom and I kind of found a trick because I was eating a lot of Jello, and we just put the pill into the Jello, and like I could slide it right in the back of my tongue and just swallow the chunk of Jello, and didn't even taste it. So, but yeah, so that was Thursday, and I came. I waited a few days. Sunday, I actually tried to put my teeth in for the first time, and I literally could not get them in. There was so much swelling still. Not so much. There wasn't a ton, but there was still, some swelling. And so that Sunday, and I don't know if it was because of not being able to get my teeth in or what, but Sunday was probably the worst day mentally, because so it's been really hard for me to talk about, but I kind of feel like I made the wrong decision, because, like, yeah, I have like a great smile now, which is great, but like these things hurt. Like these dentures hurt. Like it hurts to wear them. Like I still can't eat anything. I tried yesterday. I tried to eat a French fry from McDonald's. I can't eat it. So, and I, between that and like the whole sinus perforation, like when I went to the consultation the first time to have everything fixed, the two teeth that were perforated in my sinuses did not need to come out. They needed fillings, but they did not need to come out. So that was just an extra. And like, not only that, but the fact that the oral surgeon never looked at my x-rays until that morning, and the fact that the dentist never caught that when he did my consultation, that I think is horrible. I think that should have been caught. I think I should have been notified of that prior to, 15 minutes before my appointment, because I honestly feel like if I had known that information and what it was going to entail, I probably never would have gone through with this whole process, just because it caused a lot of other issues, and now I'm going to have to deal with that. And so I feel like I'm really not happy with my whole situation. I'm really I'm not pleased. And that's why I'm going to keep the name of the dental office to myself. If you guys are concerned about who you've gone to, feel free to direct message me. But I am not going to release the name on this video. So right now I'm at the point, I have an appointment on Tuesday to get my lower dentures, my partials, fixed, and to get my uppers fixed a little bit. They call it a reline or whatever. And like I can get my uppers in. I have a little bit of problem just pain wise. But I've been okay wearing them, even just without like the grip stuff, the adhesive. It's been okay. I'm still obviously talking with a lisp because I'm still getting used to it. Excuse me. Eating, drinking, that's all new pains, it's just, like, if I would have known that I was still going to be going through all of this pain and all of this crap, and like, I really hope that like it gets a lot better, and then, obviously like 6 months from now, I actually get a whole new set of dentures, because they're going to make all the adjustments that they can to make sure that my dentures fit, and then they're just going to go from those and make my new permanent dentures. So I really hope that everything just gets better and better as I go, and this just becomes like a really bad memory because um, I honestly would not recommend having this done. I really wouldn't, especially not the way that I went through it because I already have a really bad fear of dentists, and this just made it 10 times worse. And I still have to get a filling. Like, I still have to see them. I still have to go and get my dentures adjusted, and I still have to get my filling from them. But I can tell you right now, after that 6 months, I'm not going to them anymore. You know, once I get my permanent dentures from them, that's it. I'm not going back to them. Um, but yeah, so that's my story. That's how everything came about, and so I just wanted to put that out there, just because, like, for me, I even talked to my therapist about it the other day. You know, because everybody's been so happy for me, and you know, they know how much I really wanted to have like a pretty smile because, you know, having to hide your smile is not a good feeling, and you know, they just want my outer appearance to match my inner appearance, and everybody's just been like so sweet, and you know, everybody's been so happy for me, and you know, I had friends that were like, "Oh, you're glowing," and it's like, you know, it's fake. I'm sorry, it's fake. Like, I'm happy that I have a great smile now, but like, I just, you know, I just feel like I don't have a reason to smile, and it's really sad. And I don't want people to think that I'm ungrateful in any way. Like, I absolutely love every single one of you. You have given me so much strength, and you have been there for me so much, and I appreciate everything that everybody's done for me, and I appreciate all the love, and all the kind words and everything. I just don't want, you know, I want to be real with you, and I want you to understand where I'm coming from. Um, and, you know, I'm obviously going to accept everybody's compliments, but I just want you to know that, you know, it's not all smiles on my end. It's been pretty hard. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you guys have any other questions for me, feel free to drop your questions down below, or you can direct message me, either on Facebook or Instagram. Most of you know my handles. But yeah, so I appreciate all of the love, and I appreciate you guys watching this video. And I can't wait to hopefully feel a lot better in the next coming months. All right. Thank you. Bye.